Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. This is the Diana White Show Live. It is Monday. Another week of blessings, another week for you to open your boxes and see what God has in store for you in your boxes, whether it's gold or it's purple. And also another week to insist and promote what I'm wearing here. I love me. Yes, the I love me t-shirts, and the slogan that we use on this show all the time, the slogan we plead with you to remember every single day of your life. I love me. Yes, that's what it is, and that's what you should be doing. So we encourage you to come on this journey of loving yourself with us, and also to have you remember each and every day the big word. But even though it's a small word, it is a big word. Love. We all want it. We all need it. And we all hope that someday we'll get it. Yes. So why don't we encourage ourselves to do that right now? Did you tell yourself this morning and look in the mirror and say, I love me? Yes. Well, I can't escape it because I have to put my makeup on. And I have to look in the mirror to put my moisturizer and all those other things. And I'm sure most women have to do that. So I'm sure it's easy for you to do. And men are getting into the cosmetic thing big time. So they have to do it themselves. Yeah. So we encourage you to you have to look in the mirror every single morning. I am positive, unless you live in a box somewhere that has no mirrors. But maybe you just have a phone, so you can just turn the phone off and you'll get that screen to work your way up. That's right. Do that. And we encourage you to do that continuously as you go through your day, because loving yourself uplifts you, inspires you, give you energy, and let you put your shoulders back. Sit up straight and keep pressing into your passion and your dreams and your goals. So we invite you not to give up anything. Just keep on keeping on. Be persistent. Be determined. And know that no one should tell you that you can't do something. Whatever it is that you want to do, just do it. Get to it. So as I put this over my shoulder and do it. So I just want to remind you of what this week brings for you. This, of course, we welcome all our viewers from around the world and in the United States as we begin another week of, we're almost at 120 shows right now. So we invite you to go online to dianawritetv.webs.com and check out the website. And of course, I'm sure most of you are watching right now. So you are able to do so, and go ahead. And I'm trying to do something here with no, it's not working. But anyway, we'll ignore that for the minute. So we invite you to just go to the website. And if you can't watch the show live when we're here at 10:30 and at 8, we invite you to just go onto the website, go down to the bottom of the page and click on the YouTube icon. And yes, here you go. You'll see all the shows that you've missed. So just like how you catch up on everything else, and you know that the internet is becoming the trend where everyone is launching their songs, launching their movies, launching the Diana Wright Show and all those good, wonderful things, launching their books and stuff. So the internet is where it's at and where it's going to be. Just hope and pray that you are in the making, and I'm glad that I'm on it already. So I'll be in the running for you to watch. All right. So tell a friend, go on Facebook and like us on Facebook, and also tweet us and let us know what you're thinking every single day. And did you report to us that you did say, I love me today? So whether you're in Jamaica, you're in Europe, you're in Iceland, wherever you are, we welcome you to the program. And we thank you so much for joining us as we move along in our week. And I just want to clear up a few things that we're going to be doing this week. Tomorrow morning, we'll have Judith with us. She was under the weather last week, so we're hoping that she's better and can join us. She is from People 490, and she gives us advice about college, about, business etiquette. If you want a job, she will find you one because she has an agency within People 490 that will find you a job. And if you are an employer who have a job that you are looking for people, she will do that too. So she will join us tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, we have Dr. Melanie, God's willing, that she is well and can join us, where we talk a lot about sex and a lot of things that affect women and relationships, and also some medical stuff that we need to clear the air with. And if you have questions about that, you can give us a call at 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921 when Dr. Melanie joins us to, just talk about things that you don't necessarily want to talk about. I don't know why so many of you are so afraid of the three-letter word. It's called sex. You don't want to talk about it with your children. You don't want to talk about it with your husband, your spouse, your come on. It's something that brought each and every one of us here. So why not talk about it? And also, come Wednesday, it's time for Wellness Wednesday with Dax Dunn, and he joins us, and he's from Rad Wellness in Plantation, and they have the Detox 21-day program that is good for you. Now, they have what's called the digestive detox, which is some tablets that you take to keep you regular for those women like myself who have constipation issues. And it's something, again, that a lot of us don't like to talk about, but it's something that we need to be doing every single day, is getting out what's in us. Okay, so Dax joins us on Wednesday for that. And on Thursday morning, we have someone wonderful that will be joining us. Her name is Dorothy Leeds from New York City, and this is one of her books. It's called The 7 Powers of Questions. Some of us are wondering what questions to ask, what not to ask. Here is her book, and she has another one called Power Speak. Power Speak. Engage, inspire, and stimulate your audience. So if you're going to speak, you want to listen to Dorothy Leeds on Thursday morning at the 10:30 hour of the Diana Wright Show. A lot of people have a lot of money in big positions, but if you put the camera on them, they freeze. They don't know what to say. They're not telegenic. They don't know how to present themselves. Power Speak. Yes, not all of us can just sit down in front of a camera and be comfortable and speak and get everything going on. Some of us go in front of a camera. We don't even know what to say. Some of us bumble, jumble, and say all kind of crap. Yeah? So, Power Speak. Dorothy Leeds will join us on Thursday morning, and Thursday at the 8 o'clock hour. We have something new and exciting for you. It's called Independence. It is a program that will allow men to speak about sex, about relationships, why they do what they do, and how they see women. And of course, the person to join me who is brave enough last Wednesday to tell me that he loves sex, and that is none other than Dax Dunn. He will join me for Independence. Independence taking place right here. A new program, it's not a new program because it's within the Diana Wright Show, but it's a new focus that we're going to give men a chance, an opportunity to speak. And ladies, we want you to challenge them, because I'm sure that Dax will come in through Skype, so the phone will be free for you to call in. I want men to call in, women to call in, and challenge the men for what they say. Because, Dax, when he said it on Wednesday, I was going to talk to him a little bit about Friday, but Friday was busy for him and he couldn't join us for Wow Friday. So, yes, we're going to have a new focus on Thursday at 8. Independence, sex, relationships, and men will speak. So you want to hear men speak honestly? They're going to join me just like how you hear Dr. Melanie. Just put it out there. On a Tuesday evening, we're going to have that for the guys. Yes, we accommodate the guys on Tuesdays too, but we want a guy at the helm talking about sex and relationships. And why is it that some of you women are so needy? Yeah. Why is it that you want guys to do all those things and you don't want to tell them what to do? You just want them to assume and come up with their own ideas? No! You need to let them know what you want. So I promise you that Thursday evening will be exciting. Thursday morning will be exciting when you learn that asking questions is actually a good thing to do because someone was brave enough to write a book about it. Her name is Dorothy Leeds, and she also has a one-woman show that she goes around the country and performs, and she wrote it herself. So we will hear a little bit about that. And of course, Friday is Wow Big Friday, all the news of the week that kind of make me go wow. Or, yes, that story is a big one. So where are we going to start today as we welcome you again to the Diana Wright Show Live? We're going to go to the IRS to begin with. Now, I am puzzled when people, before I get to the IRS, I want to ask you something. Are you a winner or are you a loser? Because you see, when you're a winner, everyone wants to be on your train. When you win, if you're black, you're white, you're ugly, you have brown eyes, dark eyes, blue eyes, whatever you have, no hair, some hair, ooh, and you look crazy too. When you are a winner, you have 1,000 fathers. Everyone want to be connected to you at that time. But when you're a loser, they run away, catch the door fast before it hits them going out. And when you win, you see, no matter how you look, someone will find some part of your body that's gorgeous. Because winning is sexy. Winning is wonderful. Winning is great. And when you're on top, not in the position of sex we're talking about, when you're on top of your game, everyone wants to talk to you. So how do you get on top of your game and how do you become a winner? You become a winner by persistence. By knowing that you know that you know that you know that you can do what you want to do, no matter how negative people speak in your ear. Whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, your uncle, I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter. What matters is the thoughts that you indulge in your mind. Can I be a winner? Yes, I know I'm a winner every single day of my life. How about you? I want you to win and go on the journey with me because loving yourself first makes you a winner simply by just doing that. So that's the easiest place to start. So who is hanging on your coattail because you are a winner? Some people like the label of loser because when you lose, you get a lot of sympathy from people, especially a pastor, and you have to be rescued all the time, you see. And some people love that. They like to be the victim. They like to be the one that is always being rescued. So they like the label of loser. And when they lose, it's no big deal. Because people expect them to lose because they assume the label of loser. So I want to wipe that loser face off of you this morning and get you into the winner circle where the horses trot when they win and the owners come out because those are the millionaires who own the horses. So do you come into the winner circle with me or do you stay back there in the losers column? I want you to come into the winner circle today. 3 little words get you there first. But then when you get there with the I love me stage, you got to do something. You can't just stand there and expect God to throw the blessings down when you open the boxes in the morning. You got to expect something to come out of that box and have it be what you want and what you need. What do you need this morning? What inspiration are you looking for? What is your goal and your aspirations and your dreams that are locked up way down here and you need to pluck it out and come into the winner's circle with me, out of depression, out of the blue and into the green. We invite you to do that each and every day on this show, the Diana Wright Show Live. So take the journey. Come on the crusade with me. Buy my t-shirts. Yes, they say I love me. So it's kind of easy to remind yourself that you love yourself. You can wash it and wear it every day. I'm deciding to wear one at least once a week, every week. once I continue to speak to you on this show. And then I want to talk about retirement for a moment, because I don't believe in that word retirement at all. So you see that the Queen last week decided to slow down at 87. I have a long way to go, honey, and I hope you'll join me. But if you don't want to join, bye. We don't need any haters and any negative energy around us. We just want people with positive energies and people that we can inspire to be positive. But if you've decided that you want to continue to be a loser, stay there and be losing. But we invite you to come out of the losing streak and into the winner's circle with us on the Diana Wright Show Live. So as we inspire and encourage you, so we speak of the Queen, who decided at 87 that she could give her son some of her duties to carry out, like going to Parliament, traveling around the world, that kind of thing. Yeah? And there's Barbara Walters, who's making big news because she's 83 and wanting to give it up. Yes, she is a woman with a lisp. Yes, she has a lisp. But she's a woman who broke ground for a lot of women to be in broadcasting, not the black ones, but the white ones, because the black ones just keep on trickling. Even the Spanish ones are way ahead now because they have their own network, their own channels. So the Spanish brown skin ones with the long hair that is real, that is not bought in the store, they have come ahead of the ones with the black skin, a brown skin, not much hair. And yes, even the guys with the accent who are white from Canada and those places in England, they are able to make it. Yeah, they're able to go ahead. But we're not. So let's see who is okay. I see someone is texting me because I forgot to turn off my phone, so I'll just do that now and get to that later. Every time I don't turn my phone off, someone comes in. But when I turn it off and I turn it on, no one called. Okay, so here you go. You got to be in the winner's circle at all times. But I was so anxious to speak to you today that I forgot a little thing like turning off my phone. Anyway, it's off now, so we won't be disturbed anymore. So, retirement for the trailblazer Barbara Walters. She's 83. She has no children naturally. I think she has one adopted daughter. She's been married once, I think, and divorced quickly after that to some bigwig in California in the movie industry. Haha. So, she's retiring. Is she retiring to be alone, or is she going to be coming back on The View periodically, or do her Barbara Walters special, or her Person of the Year, or one of those things? And as I listened to people talk about her being a trailblazer for women in the media, I thought about it, and I said, yeah, she was a blazer for white women. Absolutely. And brown Hispanic women, yes, absolutely. But where are the black ones? How many do you see? And do they always seem to pick the ugliest ones to put on TV? Don't they? They do. And I'm here to tell you that, and I am not accepting that. Because we will trail our own course. And when you have all those black channels like BET and, TV1, what do they carry? What do they carry? BET Gospel, what do they carry? Repeat, repete, same old, same old, same old. Can we get beyond that, please? And the people who go there, and we hope they will make changes, like CJ the other day, he left CNN and went over to BET. I have not seen him since. The only time I saw him was at Christmas. I was so happy to see him when he came on MSNBC to sit in for Alex Witt. And then he disappeared again. Yeah. How many blazes did she trail for us brown skinned black women? That's my question. I like to ask questions. And I like to get it right too, because my name is Diana Wright. Or is it? I'm not so sure. Are you sure? Are we sure about anything? And as we look today, since Thursday or Friday, the biggest story is what the IRS did and what they didn't do to those Tea Partiers and those patriots who were applying for 501c3 and all those kind of non-profit things. And we're told, this is what we're told now, that the IRS has apologized because they did wrong. They targeted all the Republican, but now we gather they did target the Democrats too. You know, but that came later. Because we want to get it out there that they targeted the Tea Partiers and anyone who had patriot in their name or anything like that. Yeah. So, excuse me, they want President Obama to apologize? Should he? Or shouldn't he apologize? I'm not so sure. Should President Obama be blamed for what the IRS does? Especially if he has nothing to do with it? Or anyone in the White House? That lone person in the IRS, they're saying it's some lower level staff members, but some higher ups knew about it and did nothing. So what happened when they target little people? The IRS. Does anyone come out and ask the president to apologize when the IRS targets little people? So why should the president be apologizing because the IRS decided to target some other people, as long as the White House and the president of the United States, as in the name Barack Obama, had nothing to do with it? He has absolutely no reason to apologize. I'm sure he's going to, because them crazy people are going to tell him to do so. But what are you apologizing for, Mr. President? Did you do something wrong? Are you supposed to be apologizing when the IRS decides to focus in on Republicans? Because Tea Partiers are Republicans. And the Patriots are normally Republicans. You know, they want to take their country back. I don't know who took it from them. And how did they come to own it? This all is owned by God, and it will be taken away in a flash if God wants it to be taken away. So it's not owned by any one race. And if truth be told, the Indians are the ones that should be calling out for ownership. So let's evaluate this and thrash it out a little bit. The IRS did wrong, and they should be whipped for it if they did wrong. We accept that, and I accept that too. Whether they targeted Republicans or Democrats, it doesn't matter. Or the little guy down the street who owns his little business who's trying to make it. So why then would we want the Treasury Secretary, Mr. Liu, and President Obama to apologize for targeting those people? I hear no one calling the president to apologize when the IRS targets little people. Why is it that the little people always get left behind? When a little person dies, no one cares, no one talks about it. But yeah, let a celebrity die and everybody's talking about it. How imbalanced. Ugh. The imbalance of life, of what happens. So yes, Mr. President, they're asking you to apologize because, you see, the IRS did something wrong to the Tea Partiers who called you Hitler, who called you all them nasty names. Why would you want to apologize? And the Republicans who are working against you every single day, the Republicans who are not wanting to sign gun control bill because they don't like you and they don't want you to succeed, and they block everything you try to do. It's the American people, stupid. Remember the phrase that I coined last week. It is not the economy, it's the American people, stupid. So, whenever you have a tax issue and the IRS is targeting you as a small person in this country, I need for you to ask for an apology from the president. Because as long as the White House has nothing to do with this IRS mess, and the president had nothing to do with it, there's absolutely no reason for him to apologize. It's just like when your children are apologizing to you for doing something. Do you just let them say, I'm sorry? I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, what are you sorry for? If my husband is sorry, he better be telling me why he's sorry. Why are you sorry? And why do we want the president to apologize before we find out if he had something to do with the IRS targeting the Tea Party and the Patriots? Just let's think about it. Why do we always seem to rush to the jugular every time something happens? Oh, Mr. President, and oh, his presidency should be, I heard Scarborough talking about, well, we should even think about it as it's not a criminal presidency, but it at least is incompetent. Mr. Scarborough, did you find out if the White House and the president had anything to do with this before you made that statement? I don't know if the president had something to do with it, and I don't know if the White House had anything to do with it. And yes, if they did, they are indeed incompetent. But can we just wait for the judgment to start slanging down the axe and labeling presidencies with incompetence? We need to wait. Can we be patient enough to let the investigation run? Like Rand Paul, who is trying to say that Hillary Clinton should never run for office again. But yet the investigation into Benghazi, which is obsession street by the Republicans because they're looking for red meat, that Rand Paul spilled the beans last week to say she should not be allowed to run for office because they're trying to derail her presidency before she even got to say Madam President. So what's this about? Washington is so corrupt. Congress, the Senate, the White House, everybody cumbled into one. Democrats, Republicans and all, Tea Partiers, roadblockers, everybody. Washington is going nowhere fast. And it's the American people, stupid, that are suffering. Because you see, the Dow is over 15,000, so the wealthy people are making their money back. But what happened to the little people of this country who are struggling every day to make ends meet, who are living in their cars, who are homeless, sleeping under the bridge? Are we asking the president to apologize to those people for what you have all accused President George W. Bush for doing, for crashing the economy so bad that people who never thought they would be homeless are now homeless. People who never thought they would be unemployed are now unemployed. People are stressed out, committing suicide because they don't know how they're going to pay the bills. How many of us out there needs an apology from President Barack Obama and the Treasury Secretary, Jack Lew, who is new, but, he should apologize too. So why don't we wait? Can we just put the hate behind our seats and let the love come forth and wait before we crucify people? Just like they crucified Jesus and he did nothing but heal the sick and perform miracles. But he was crucified. So who indeed are we to not be crucified before they actually find out that we did something? So I'm just asking all the journalists and the CNNs and the MSNBCs and the Joe Scarborough from Morning Joe and everyone else and Mika, who looks so sad because she sees disappointment. Let's wait until the results come out. Let's wait until I actually win the Powerball. How about that? Wow. How swift we are to judgment and to kill and to crucify people and bury them before we know all the facts. So between Benghazi and the IRS, I'm not so sure how the White House is going to smell at the end of the road, but we will wait and we will see, because I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt. And of course, Secretary Clinton, because they're not going to leave her, because they think she's going to run and she's a woman that will be able for us to say, Madame President. And they're so scared that Karl Rove and Crossroads have begun to churn the wheels of destruction. Did he learn nothing from the amount of money that he got from crazy people like the Koch brothers and all those people who, Mr. Adelson, who wants to fight the losing battle that they lost at? They're starting real early. 2016 is a mile away from here. Maybe they should look at 2014 first. And maybe each and every one of us should stay home for all of 2014 elections and let them see that it is indeed the American people, stupid. So as we move on in our stories, and we welcome you again from around the world and in the United States to the Diana Wright Show Live, the 10:30 hour in the morning, we give you this news of a 4-year-old who is now the mayor of a place called Dorset, Minnesota. So imagine barely coming out of diapers, not in school yet, and you are the mayor. How on earth did something crazy like this could happen? Only in America, as Don King would say. Don King would say only in America this could happen. A 4-year-old, and his name is Mayor Robert Tufts. He has a stick that he walks with, because I guess when you become mayor, you walk around with a stick in Dorset, Minnesota. Population about 20-something people. And how did he become mayor, you might wonder, because he's only 4. You see, in Dorset, Minnesota, they use a hat, and anyone's name can go in the hat and plucked out of the hat. So his name was plucked out of the hat. He's only 4, but he's now the mayor of Dorset, Minnesota. So do you see what I mean when I tell you that nothing is impossible? The Bible tells you that all things are possible when you believe and trust God. And I didn't say 10 things, 20 things. I said all things are possible when you believe. And it's not about where we're starting, it's where we finish. It may take 10 years, it may take 1 year, it may take 7 months, 6 months. But if you trust and you believe and you know that you're a winner, well now, you have nothing to be bothered about, do you? Because it's going to happen. It will come. A 4-year-old mayor of Dorset, Minnesota, picking names out of a hat. That's how you get your mayor in Dorset, Minnesota. Well, maybe that's the only way they could make the news too. So anyway, we just remind you that come Thursday at the 8 o'clock hour, we have a new focus. It's called Independence, and it's going to give men a chance to open up and talk about sex and relationships and all their fantasies. And what make them do what they do to women. So that's a new segment that comes our way come this Thursday. And of course, in the 10:30 hour, we're going to have Dorothy Leeds to join us from New York City. And she's going to talk about her books, about questions, and the other one that will inspire you to power speak. So if you want to know how to speak with power, you got to read that book. It's called Power Speak. It inspires and stimulates you to have the best talk and the best speak when you go in public. Because some of us don't know how to do that. Did you know? Yeah. Obama is credited with being able to do that very well. Some politicians don't know how to do that very well. And when I think of politicians, I think of Bobby Jindal, who could be a good Republican, but he just ain't got the charm. And the power speak. Anyway, moving right along as we are in our 10:30 hour. It's now about 2 minutes after 11 o'clock, and this is the Diana Wright Show Live. We thank you for joining us, and we invite you to tell a friend, give us the like on Facebook and our thumbs up, and spread the word about the Diana Wright Show. It inspires you, encourages you to love yourself. 3 little words: I love me. And I don't care whether you're tired of hearing me say it or not. The day that we celebrate it is April 30th every single year. So we're on the journey. We just finished the April 30th, 2013. So we're heading for April 30th, 2014, I Love Me Day. And Mother's Day was just gone yesterday. I hope you had a great Mother's Day, each and every one of you that are mothers. And hope your children made peace with you most of all, because I know a lot of mothers and daughters have friction that just seem to not be able to be mended. But it can be mended, and it can be restored, and you can indeed love your mother despite all her struggles. And let us keep in mind that mothers mother because of what they know at that time. You can't expect your mother of 50 years ago to have known what you know as a mother in 2013. Because a lot of women do that. They tell their children, oh, I'm not going to do what my mother did to me. Why are you saying that? You don't need to even say that. Just do your best at this time, because your daughter, when she has children, will be doing it with a little tweak at that time in her era. So, anyway, live happier on the money that you have. You know, I talk a lot about being content, living in the moment, enjoying what you have. I talk a lot about envy and jealousy and forgiveness. Now, Elizabeth Dunn, can you imagine? Another Dunn. Elizabeth Dunn and Michael Norton. They have a book called Happy Money. Okay, so they're giving you some advice, and I'm going to just read some of the advice that they give here. Shell out friendships. So that means when you think you don't have any money and you want to, tighten your belt, like they always tell you to strap your belt and tighten your belt. She says you should continue to socialize whether you have money or not, because good friends, hard to find, and it's good to socialize. So she says this: if you earn $75,000 a year or more, when you get to $75,000 a year, it's a good after that. Because a bigger paycheck, she says, has no impact on your day-to-day bliss, your day-to-day joy. How to be happy with less money. So once we get to $75,000 a year, I guess we all should strive for that. Okay, I'm on that journey. $75,000 a year is what she's advising that we strive for, because once you get to that point, you can kind of enjoy just about everything you want. Is that true, or is that not true? Putting away money is a very positive goal that correlates to happiness, she says. But when your route limits time with friends, you need to think about whether that's a worthwhile trade-off. So you should never give up your friends to pursue money. You should never give up your friends if you have money. You should never give up your friends if you're trying to make money and trying to act as if you're the busiest person in the world, and you're not, because you're not making any money. So friendship is truly, truly that important. Because I always say, when you have a good friend, don't abuse them and don't diss them, because Good friends are so hard to find and come by. Then she says you should splurge on experiences, not things. So, the experience that you have with your child or your spouse or your significant other or your friends, that you go out and you hang out and you laugh and you eat and you have a good time. Those are experiences that you will always remember positively, unless they were kind of negative. Some of them are. But we should focus on experiences, not things. So now don't try to accumulate things. Ask yourself, how will I really use it? Whatever you're buying. A lot of us go out at the beginning of the year and we buy treadmills and bicycles and exercise equipment. Are you planning to use it, or are you just buying it because you figure that's the right thing to do? Lots of us have those bicycles that become hangers in our bedrooms. The treadmills also become hangers. We throw our clothes over it. No, I don't do that because I can't take clutter and everything has to be in its place for me. So that's out. But I see it all the time. I go to people's houses and they have all this wonderful gym equipment. Are you using it? Is what Miss Dunn would like you to ask yourself before you make that purchase. Do you really need that thing? Do you need that dress? Are you going to wear it, or are you just going to hang it in your closet and say, wow, I have lots of clothes? Okay. Be careful with credit cards. And I always say it. She wants you to pay cash. And cash for me is king. Forget about the credit cards. Comes when you have an emergency or you're making a big purchase and you want to make sure everything goes right. Because credit card, you can kind of have some clout, especially when you use your American Express. You can kind of hold it over their heads with that American Express. It gives you some clout, you see. But if you're buying little things, like I see people in the grocery store charging lunch and, for $10 and that kind of stuff. Cash is king. Make cash your friend and use it. Some people are obsessed. They're afraid that if they have cash in their wallet, people will rob them. No, don't be thinking that. Because you know that your fear sometimes will bring the trouble to your door. Whatever you fear is what will happen in your life. If you fear that you're going to be poor, you will be poor. If you fear that you're going to be robbed, you will be robbed. Come on, get those negative thoughts out of your brain right now. I rebuke them. Yeah. So, forget the credit card and use the cash. Calculate more than the paycheck. Love life. And I just threw in the I love me and the love life there. Because if you're thinking just about your paycheck and you're waiting for the paycheck to get bigger before you start traveling, before you start enjoying your children, before you can be happy, there's always going to be something that comes your way that's bigger than the paycheck. Because your tires are going to go bad, or, some unexpected expense comes up and you never budget for that. So think not only about the paycheck. Just enjoy your life. Stop waiting for something to happen tomorrow before you can enjoy yourself. Stop waiting to win the lotto before you can travel. Travel now. And you don't have to go overseas necessarily, but it is indeed a good thing to go overseas. Lots of Americans, did you know that a lot of Americans have not even left their neighborhood? Yes, believe me. And a lot of people who are from the Caribbean who live in America, they only go back to their homeland for holidays and vacations. They never thought of going someplace else. There's a whole big world out there for you to discover, my brothers and my sisters. If you're from the Caribbean, you don't need to go back home every holiday or every vacation that you take. Go and explore the world. Know someplace else. I plead with you to do so. It opens up your horizon, your mind, and it's good for your children to not just know their neighborhood. But lots of Americans only know their neighborhood. Do you remember that President George W. Bush never left the U.S. before he became president? Yeah, he became president and then started to travel on our tax dollar. I love me some George W. until he started listening to Dick Cheney. But anyway, and I'm not Republican, I'm independent. So don't be calling me talking about, no, I'm independent. Independence is my middle name. And Independence is a new focus show that we're going to have on Thursday evenings with Dax Dunn, talking about sex and relationships and men. Why do they do what they do? Why do you have a fantastic wife at home and you go out and cheat anyway? Why do you do that? I want Dax to answer that for me. Why do men cheat? Why do men love sex so much more than women? Some women love sex, but they're in the minority, I think. Yeah. So why are men so obsessed with sex? Well, Dax made his announcement last Wednesday. I don't know if I can talk about sex on this show, but I love sex. And that's fine, and that's good, and we love to hear that. So we're going to take that on every Thursday evening on the 8 o'clock hour of the Diana Wright Show Live. Welcome you from around the world and in the United States. This is the Diana Wright Show Live. Yes. And we want you to love us on Facebook and give us the thumbs up every single day. We want you to tweet us. We want you to call us and give us your ideas for shows. And just in case you want to promote a product, you can give us a call too. Because we do advertise, we look for partners, and we look for sponsors. And yes, I'm available to speak at your function. So the number to call for that is 561-228-1921 or 561-228-1921. We hope you're having a great Monday, and we hope that you had a great Mother's Day. But we're continuing to give you some information about money. Don't be so obsessed about it. Use what you have to make the best life for yourself. So, 10 minutes of exercise a day. Did you know? A Scottish study has said that all you need is 10 minutes a day to exercise. So, as we cleared up what you need to do, those are the things that you are supposed to do about your money. So, enjoy your life. Please do. You never know what tomorrow brings. And are you going to be here tomorrow? Just think of those women who are going to enjoy themselves in the limousine. They never got to their destination. And there was a bride in the crowd that would have been married the following week. Never put off for tomorrow what you can do today. It's so important for us to live in the now and enjoy our lives every single day. Live each day like it might just be your last. Whatever you feel like doing, as long as it's something legal and it's something that's going to make you happy, go do it. Don't say, oh, I'm going to do that when I get money. Elizabeth Dunn and her partner Michael just told you, it's not about the money. It's about the friendships. It's about the experiences that we cultivate. It's about the memories that make us laugh sometimes when we sit by ourselves and remember what my child did or what my husband did that was good. Yeah. Because you're going to need that, you see, because the bad days come, whether you like it or not. Trouble will come, but don't sit and wait for it. Pretend as if it never will come. And then life will be so much more beautiful for you. 10 minutes of exercise. Yes, that's a Scottish study that just came out that says all you need is 10 minutes of exercise a day, as long as you're doing something that gives you, a chance to work, like bicycling, like running, that kind of thing. You only need to do it for 10 minutes a day. Try that and see how it works out for you. I think you need more than that, but anyway, we'll go with that. And sometimes you kind of wonder what you should believe and not believe, because now they're telling us that you only need 5 hours of sleep, because the people who get 8 hours of sleep, they're going to die earlier than you if you only get 5 hours. My God. Woo. Every week and every day they come with a new study. One day eggs are good for you, the next day eggs are no good for you. One day chicken is good, the next day chicken is no good. One day pork is the new white meat, and then next day, well, the Bible tells you that pork isn't good, so you really don't need anyone to tell you about pork and shrimp and those things. But some of the other things we struggle because one day it's good and the next day it's no good. And leafy greens are wonderful for you until you eat some and it has salmonella on it. Or E. coli, because some jerk down the line did not do the proper thing to make it safe. Wow. So don't make your life so complicated. Just be simple about it. And do what's good for you and what will take care of you and your family. And your friends. Include your friends, because friends are important. I don't have a lot of those, but the ones I have, I cherish. Because to me, you can't have 10 best friends, and not everyone loves you. I'm here to disappoint you and tell you that. But the ones who love you, they love you like crazy. And you should appreciate that and celebrate that and nurture that. Don't tell me you're too busy to be my friend. Hell no. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it, because I'm never too busy to be your friend. I'm never too busy to take care of me and my family. So people, remember, I keep telling you, the pastor said it. Whenever someone comes to you with an excuse about something that they were supposed to do and they did not do, an excuse is someone beginning to lie. So keep that in mind. And when you win, you have 1,000 fathers, but when you lose, you're an orphan. So I like to win. I am always in the winner's circle, if only in my mind. And that's where I want you to be, because when I open my boxes every day of blessings, whether it's gold or the purple one, and most days I open both of them. Because I try to live in the supernatural every single day, and I expect God to do great things for me every single day. I expect His blessings supernaturally, because He can do it. All things are possible when you believe in the mighty one called God through His Son Jesus. Yes, it's possible. And a 122-year-old woman, guess where she lives? She lives in France. That's why I want to move there. I'd love to live in France. South of France. Paris is a little expensive. Really expensive. Not a little, but really expensive. You buy a studio in Paris and it's running you, depending on the district you decide to go into, whether it's the 11th or the 9th or whatever. Ooh, you could be paying some millions there. If you don't have $1 million, and even if you spend $1 million in Paris for an apartment or a townhouse, you're gonna have to fix it up. It's a fixer-upper at $1 million. Okay, so I don't know, but France seems like a good place. A 122-year-old woman living in France, in the south of France. Because guess what? They eat fresh food every day, mostly from their gardens. And, the food supply in France is so protected and so taken care of that people go there and get upset. I didn't go there and get upset. I went there and I came back and I thought, that's a good way to live. Buy your food every day that you're going to cook. Don't be piling up them stuff in the freezer and then they stay in the freezer and get old. Yeah, they get old in the freezer. Did you know? They truly do get old in the freezer. Don't be piling up stuff in your freezer and tell me about, some days it's going to rain and snow. The grocery store is never that far from your house. Unless you live in the boonies anyway. So that was one of the things I liked. And I liked the fact that there was a bakery on every block. Temptation. But you see, even though you have the temptation, you can actually walk that thing off, because walking is what they do in Europe. But we don't have walk-in cities here in America. The closest I've come to living in a walk-in city is when I lived in Los Angeles. You can actually walk there, because if you live in Beverly Hills, and you can walk to, Reeves, if you can walk to Rodeo Drive, and you can walk around, but it's still not totally a walking city. But in LA, I think, yeah, you can do some walking. When I went to Santa Barbara too, yeah, you can do a little walking there, but it's truly not a walking city like how it is in Europe. And I believe that if we had walking cities here in the US, the obesity problem would not be as grave as it is right now. So, anyway, alrighty, so we see here that there is actually... Did you know that Senator McCain is actually doing something wonderful? He has a bill. It's an a la carte cable bill and no bundles. That's his bill, and I think it's wonderful. So we must give kudos to Senator John McCain from Arizona, who, the maverick. He's coming out with his maverick attitude again, because he's trying to fight the cable companies. And yes, I would like for that bill to pass. They're saying it's not going to, but I'd love for it, because this is the second time Senator McCain has brought it up. We would like to see that bill passed right here on the Diana Wright Show Live. Why? Because if you are allowed to do your cable a la carte without bundles, I don't have to be watching them stupid channels on TV that I don't want to watch. Do you know that there's about 6 or 7 channels on any one of our cable carriers? I will challenge you that you watch all the time. Most of the others are things that you go, why am I paying for this? And there was a mother, I think she lived in Texas, who started the whole thing years and years ago. I actually forgot about it until I heard last week that Senator McCain is bringing it back to life, the bill, a la carte cable. Because if you only want to watch MSNBC, CBS, CNN, ABC, NBC, PBS, the Food Network, the Cooking Channel, HGTV, the Wealth TV, Wealth International, you should be allowed just to pay for those. Because if you run through your cable channels, if you have 100, I promise you only 10 of them that is of any use to you. Because have you just surfed the channels and see some crazy things that they have on television? Some of those channels? Increíble. Wow. So, and there is one I just discovered, Access, AXS, owned by Mr. Cuban and Ryan Seacrest. They carry, live concerts and stuff like that. I was watching a traveling show on there over the weekend. And this brings me to bring up to you something else that's on my mind. Have you ever thought about death? Because a lot of us don't like to think about death or talk about it. But sometimes if you think about death, and especially if you have small children and you find out that you have breast cancer or cancer someplace else or whatever it is. And I just saw a British 22-year-old girl that had cancer that was so rare that they took 7 months to diagnose it. But just think about it. And it has nothing to do with age, because people are dying whether they're young or old or in between nowadays. When I was a kid, I think it seemed like only older people died, but now it's like everybody. So why not enjoy every moment that you have now before you find out that you have cancer and you're trying to make up for all those days that you wasted? Don't wait for someone to tell you you're dying before you start enjoying your life and loving yourself. So I plead with you not to do that. Okay, so, and there is something called Aereo Antenna. It's a New York and Boston-based internet television channel. You have that antenna and you can watch certain programs, but it's just in New York and Boston for right now. But you don't need any antenna to watch my show, just your computer. Or Your desktop, your iPhone, your iPad, your smartphone, you watch me. How about that? So the internet is going to be the place. You have internet radio blowing up and you have internet television. We're on there. And we're spreading the crusade of the I Love Me campaign and the I Love Me Day of April 30th. And I'm just going to remind you about another date that you need to circle. It's called the Save a Life Day. October 5, there's going to be a blank party fundraiser costing you only $30. If you start saving now, you will accumulate $30. You just have to get a special kind of outfit. So that's my clue for you to start guessing. What's the blank? So it's blank party fundraiser. Thrown by Save a Life Jamaica Foundation, October 5. Keep that in mind as we go through, because you're going to say, I know, I hear you going, oh, Diana, that's a long time from now. No, it's not. I Love Me Day, April 30th came and went so fast, I don't even realize it was here until it came. And I Love Me Day, April 30th, 2014, that's just around the corner too. You just have to look and quink. So, and we also learned that the best and most popular baby names last week, boys, Aiden, Alexander, Michael, Liam, William, Noah, Ethan, Mason. We know Mason because one of the Kardashians, she called her son Mason. And then there's Jacob. And for the girls, Elizabeth, Madison. Oh, I know a Madison. And there's a Mia. I know a Mia, and Abigail, Emily, Ava, Olivia, Isabella, Emma, and Sophia. All nice names. Those are the names that are trending if you want to have children and give them those names. My daughter's name, no one else has it but her. I'm not even going to spill it to you. No, because I don't want anyone else to take it. Okay. We talked a little bit about the fact that the U.S. government charged 8 individuals with using data obtained by hacking into 2 credit card processors in a worldwide scheme that netted some $45 million within hours. A crime prosecutors described as one of the biggest bank heists in history. So I'm asking you to be careful with your credit card and watch out, and please check your bills. Make sure you're not being charged for what you're not, purchasing. Just be vigilant about your credit cards. Of course, I gave you some of the stats out of that, but I just wanted to remind you today about that. If you're doing your credit card and your bank account and those things, and check your phone bill. Make sure you're not being charged for what you didn't do. Check all your bills. Okay. So I'm going to hustle on out of here right now. Yeah. And I'm going to remind you to like us on Facebook. I'm going to remind you to love yourself like I did today and open your boxes of blessings. And I'm going to remind you to remember Joshua, the winner. Even when Joshua was winning, he thought he was winning. Realize and recognize your victories. Celebrate them. Love yourself. Teach your children to love themselves. Even your enemies, teach them to love themselves too, because you're doing a good deed, you see. And nurture your friendships. Make time for your friends, your family. Family time is crucial. It's important to bond. It's important to spend time. And it's important to find the word love and put it between 2 other words. I love me. So put the word love between I and me, and what a great day you're going to have today. As I say, thank you so much for joining me today on the Diana Wright Show Live. We trust that you will go to the website if you've missed a show and catch up with that show by just clicking on, putting in DianaWrightTV.webs.com. You don't even have to put in much these days for it to come up. It comes up. And when you go to my page, check out my web store. and purchase one of my t-shirts. I love me. Book me for your function or whatever it is that you're having, that you want to spread the word of loving yourself. Yes. And as I journey today, I want you to take the journey and go on the crusade of life with me. Enjoy each and every moment of your life, because tomorrow may not be yours. Think of the people in Boston. Think of 9/11. Think of the limousine ride. Just think of those things and recognize that you need to live in the moment, and it's not about the money. And for my Republican friends, my Tea Party friends, my Democratic friends, my Patriot friends, it's all about the American people. Let's not govern from hate and blockage and jealousy and envy. Because you envy the president and you're jealous of the president, you're not going to do anything to make him look good. Stop it. And my final advice before I go, if you're starting a business or anything you're starting in your life, don't depend on your family and your friends to support you, because they're the last ones to do so. They will support you when they see that you are indeed a winner and a success. They will take on the ride after. So don't depend on them. Go out and find your own market and take over and become a winner. So as I say, adios and ciao and au revoir. And if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. April 30th, 2014 is another celebration of the I Love Me Day. Put the love between the I and the me and make it yours. I love me. Thanks again for joining me. Have yourself a blessed day. Stay prayed up and keep believing that all things are possible when you trust God. Do 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 do.